I don't know. I can't see shit right now.
Well, welcome
I
to the
think-
stream.
Yeah, you're live, guys.
Now we are. There we go. Jeez.
You said that. Good live. It's perfect intro.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Not Safe for Wednesdays. We have Isethoriginal with us to
Hi.
talk with us about roleplay. So, hi, Iseth.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we're
I'm
pretty good.
I'm dying of heat.
Dying of heat? How warm is it?
Right now it's 16 degrees Celsius because it's the middle of the night.
Why do you have to warm with 60 degrees?
16 degrees.
Yeah.
Celsius.
Why do you
Yeah.
have to warm with 16 degrees?
It's because it's night. It's not. It's supposed to be 0 now, so
You
I
know,
can feel comfortable.
I was living in a city where it wouldn't go below 30 degrees Celsius at night.
It's horrible.
16 is actually pretty okay.
Yeah. It's comfortable because it's not. There's no sun, so I'm fine.
I'm sitting comfortable here at 30 Celsius.
Stop. That's
It's so nice because like I live in the desert and like the sun is bright and it's shining and there's not a lot of humidity. Although right now it's like at 50% humidity, so I'm kind of like about it. But at the same time, like it's still very comfortable.
humidity is the killer. If the humidity is high, it's just disgusting.
Mm.
But let's not delve on the weather.
We're still talking about the weather. We're here to do like sexy time show.
For 15
And we're
minutes.
talking about the weather. We have Little J and Bruni, Finer Prince, Darnell. They're all sitting in chat, so maybe we can talk about roleplay. Now, Iseth, one of the main reasons why I wanted to have the roleplay conversation, especially with you on, was because I remember you talking about you and Logic, and I'm wondering when you guys were on the proper villains, and I'm wondering if you guys wore the masks when you were together.
Oh.
When we were together.
Yeah, yeah. What,
Yeah.
yeah. Like what? Whenever you guys get together and stuff like
When
that,
you
did sexy
have
times.
grown up fun.
Yes, sexy times. Do you wear the masks? And like role play is original and Logic.
You know, the thing is, we have this problem that we don't have much space and we have a small kid in the house, so we are very restricted with what we can do and cannot do. But I think, and I'm also very careful with what I'm supposed to say, you know,
Fair
concerning Logic.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Logic. You know, as long as it's about myself, I can say what I want. But when we involve Logic, I have to be careful. You know, you don't
Fair.
want to say something he doesn't really want to hear.
True.
So, however, I will point out that I have a nice little closet where we have quite an abundant number of masks. The same masks we wear during the video. And one of those masks is not for the purpose of making videos.
I'm very okay with this. At least not videos you share with the public anyway.
Yeah.
I don't like. So are you for the idea of roleplay? I guess would be the next question.
You know, every couple, every person, every kind of, you know, getting together of people who want to have fun has their own preferences. And roleplay is one of those things where you can just experiment around a bit. You know, when you're yourself, you kind of, you have a reputation to keep. You have to be careful of what you do and what you say a lot in public. When you decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to switch roles, I'm going to play someone else, you can be much more unhinged depending on what kind of role you take over, because that's no longer you. And a lot of people like that about that, because now they no longer feel obliged to stick to, social stereotypes and social norms, and they can just go a bit nuts. And so I personally like roleplay, generally and also personally. So
I know you're an atheist. Do you ever do like the naughty Catholic schoolgirl? Like, have you ever had that idea? Like,
Priest and nun. Yeah.
The thing. No. When I was younger, when I was a lot younger, I was a lot wilder and weirder, I would say. Oddly enough, especially my late teens, I think I have tried everything under the sun. Not everything, but quite a lot. And roleplay was, a big part of it. And I'm pretty sure I did the naughty nun at one point. I'm also pretty sure that I did, the chastise the priest one and stuff like that. So I did quite a lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, that's so fun.
That is fun.
Like I've done a couple of roleplay ideas before. Usually like nerdy stuff. Like I've done like
you once pretended you role played you were interested in rockers once, I know.
Yeah, no, like, because I love the fact that like cosplay and roleplay can like mix together, and so like I'll play like a naughty ninja or something like that, and I'm fighting with the other ninja, and he has to defeat me with his dick.
Well, you do have the nunchuck for self play. It goes great in both holes.
I mean, it's that living out a fantasy kind of thing that really gets to me about it. Like I once had an ex, like he was my very first boyfriend, and we role played that he broke into my house, except I left him the key, and he broke into my house and was like, I'm gonna steal all your stuff. I'm like, no, you're not. And he's like, I'm gonna steal your virginity. And I'm just like, oh no.
Oh god. Oh,
I was 16. I was young and stupid, and I thought that was hot and sexy. Like,
fuck, that's funny as fuck.
But what about you? Like lo-fi. Like, what kind of role plays have you done, if any, or have you fantasized about?
Well, since I have cosplayed quite a lot, there's not a Nintendo character I have not roleplayed as. I even went so far in the end I combined all of them. So I made the Pikachu, Link, Mario, and just some Sega Sonic combined into one costume and then used that.
Wait, what?
It's Super Linkachu Brothers. Gotta go fast. Yeah, so it was the shoes of Sonic, Link's outfit, Pikachu ears and tail, and Mario's hat. That was my costume, and that turned sexy.
Okay. I don't know how to handle this.
I roleplayed every Nintendo mascot ever.
Alright, so Iseth, what would be like, if you haven't played it out, what would be your like ultimate fantasy roleplay? If you haven't played it out yet. If you have, like, we don't need to know, but I mean, it'd be fun to know and to hear such stories.
I have tried a lot of like more like Western standard kind of roleplay, but there are a lot of like Asian style roleplay things that I have seen but never tried out myself. And the main problem is, I always like the role of the guy, but I'm not the guy, you know. But I want to play the guy, which makes it kind of hard because there are certain things you just can't do as a girl. I mean, you can still use like a dildo or something, but that doesn't quite work that well. Like in a role play, I mean. So
Yeah. Like a strap-on.
Something that I always because there's this thing where in the Edo period in Japan, for example, you had like these big lords, and they all had like they're basically their boys, their little thingy boys. And I always wanted to try something like that, more like an Isethorified version, like with the mistress lady and stuff. But that was something I always wanted to try. I never really got to it. And then I got a bit old for it.
Nice. But I mean, it can happen. It's a thing. Like, but what do you mean between like Western style role play?
For example, a lot of Western style roleplay that I know of involves things like corsets and that kind of stuff. Stuff that is stuff that we know, stuff that we are very familiar with, and connected to culture that we are familiar with. When you talk about nun play, the naughty nun, we have nuns. Over in for example, Asia, you don't have that many nuns. I mean, nowadays you have more, but they didn't used to have that many. So that is something Western. That is something that is part taken out of our culture and turned into something sexy. And they have a lot of interesting things in their culture that you can turn sexy too. And those are quite fun things. But if you don't necessarily know the culture, you don't necessarily know how it's fun and why it's fun, which is why it's complicated.
Yeah. And I mean, I can understand that people can get into certain role plays without necessarily knowing the culture. Yeah. Like they're just like, oh, that looks cool. Like I want to wear a corset, and then just, there we go. I'm dressing up in a corset, and that counts, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah, no, but like the thing is, when you get into role play, you kind of have to know your role a bit, at least, just a tiny bit. Like if you don't know who Iset is, you can put on a top hat and put a mask on your face, but it doesn't mean you get anywhere close. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like picky about it, but I kind of when you take over a role, I expect you to know your role.
No, it makes sense. It's the same. Like, if to step out of the sexuality, it's the same when you cosplay. It definitely does a lot more if you know the character you're portraying. It makes it more fun in every way.
Yeah, like you can't play as like a sexy geisha and just try and put on like a kimono and makeup and just be like, yeah, no, I'm a geisha.
In Deutsch.
Like I don't know, if I were to do like an Iseth role play, it'd be fun to just wear the mask and the top hat, but like on top of that, I would probably put on a red wig just because like that's what your avatar has.
Yeah, I have my natural hair is kind of dark blonde-ish. And I can't stand that. I can't stand that color. And so I always color it dark. I always color it dark red.
Yeah. No, my natural hair is dark, and I bleach it.
We should switch. You can totally have my blonde. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll trade hairs. And then on top of that, like every once in a while, like we'll just grab each other. We'll grab a wig.
Yeah.
We can grab a wig, and then we'll role play as ourselves. Yeah. Just the natural ourselves, because we're always changing our hair color. But no, yeah, like I understand that. Like that's Antoine from Help for the Guildless, the leader of the Proper Villains, is asking, do like poison ivy.
Oh god, Antoine. I read the next part.
Because he wants to pollinate the flower. God damn it.
You can't touch her, Antoine. She's poisonous. Right off. Pervert. How dare you be a pervert in our sex chat?
I swear, if any of the people listening are perverts, you're in the wrong stream.
I want to next time I do a roleplay, I want to roleplay a YouTuber. So I will admit, while I'm getting fucked, I'll turn around and say, "Hey everybody, it's Markiplier here." Suddenly, just out of nowhere.
Oh, yes. No, that's actually a good question. If we were to ever like roleplay as another YouTuber, who would you choose? And who would you choose your partner to roleplay as?
My partner had to roleplay as Magog because then he could yell ass rape and do it like I like it. It's much better. And I will roleplay Markiplier, as said before.
Oh, what about you, Seth? If you could think of any two YouTubers that you would have as a roleplay, who would you take as the bottom, more or less? And who would you have top you? Or would you want to be the top? And
I always want to be the top. I always want to be the top. It's so much more fun.
Who would you be the top as, though? Or would you ever roleplay as Logic?
Would I? No, I probably wouldn't. But that's because I know Logic. It's like, if I want to sleep with Logic, I can sleep with Logic. You know, it's easy. Logic is too achievable. It's too close. I have to have someone who's like not that close. You know, I was thinking about it. I wanted to make a joke, you know, something along the line of, you know, I would totally jump and pretend to be atheist Rue and fuck Steve Shives because, you know, at least Steve Shives would get laid for once. But I don't
know. But he does look like a guy who sucks a lot of cock. His lips are always shiny because of the aftercare of cum.
But yeah, that was not like a joke thing. I didn't really. I don't know. I don't know who I would like to play as a YouTuber.
No, it's tough.
I wouldn't know. I like, although the fact that Lo-Fi said Magog just to say. Just for the ass rape comment, like really?
Yes, I prefer that. I don't prefer rape. I prefer the ass part though. So why not take someone who lives by it?
You know, if it's a role play, you can pretend. You can pretend like it's a rape. That's okay. You know.
Yeah, true.
Like that's half of the thing. Like I know a couple of people who are really into like those kind of rapey things where they pretend that the partner is basically, I don't know, either a burglar who breaks in and rapes them or whatever. And it's like the rape fantasy and the partner knows how far it can go and then they just have fun with that. Because like as long as you consent beforehand and you're fine with it, it's just a role play.
Nicole Voltau actually says that if she roleplay, she'd be laughing too much at the script. Do you think that then, like, I don't think there needs to be a script when it comes to roleplay. Like, it's mostly just shooting off the hip.
Yeah.
You gotta be really untrained in roleplay if you need a script. It's gotta be very stunted sexual intercourse. So what do we do now? Let me turn to the next page.
The problem with roleplay more like, you know, you have to develop a character. Like, it's not so much that you have to have a script. It's more like you have to know what kind of characteristics this person has or not. And then you can, like, work with that.
Yes. It's not, we're not shooting a movie.
Mm-hmm. It's just as long as you know the character well enough, you know, you can roleplay it just fine because it's like I could probably do a Zell or Raucus role play. Not that I would, but I could probably do that because I know them way too well. Like there was one time I was writing up a thing for their characters, and I wrote them so well that other people could actually hear their voices.
Oh.
Like the Brockus and Zell fanfic.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was fucking incredible. That was spot on.
I don't know. I don't do it. Too late. Yeah, no. I wouldn't roleplay as you, Brockus, and I wouldn't roleplay as somebody who is you, Brockus.
And
because...
she doesn't need to roleplay. She fucks you. She already fucks you every time she insults you on stream. I can't quite keep up with that.
Like, oh, Mr. LM002, people are fake enough as it is in real life. The last thing I want is for people to be fake in the bedroom as well. Well, it's not about being fake. It's just about doing an act, you know? It's just that's what role play is about. It's not like this isn't who I really am. Like I'm just doing a little act for this one moment. It's a once in a while like little play thing. It's not something that you have to constantly do.
Like there's a lot of role play in general. Like many of them, like pet plays, that is basically just role playing anyway. And yeah, so there's a lot of sex already that involves role play to a less degree, where you have to set yourself in a mindset.
Yeah,
you know,
and
it's actually also, you know, how you deal with it. Like, for example, let's say, you know, in everyday life, you know, for example, one person who has a more dominant character has a 9-to-5 boring lazy job, and the other person, you know, who is more like a submissive character is more of a more managerial style position, whatever. And so there is, you know, a complete split. They're completely upside down, right? When they role play, they will just switch the roles. You know, the guy who goes, or the girl, whoever, who goes for the, you know, 9-to-5 office secretary, whatever job, is then like, okay, now I'm playing the boss, I'm playing the manager, and the other one is like, okay, and I'm playing the secretary, and there you go. You know, you just swap the roles. You're still the same people, but you just swap the roles. You swap the power dynamics. That in and of itself is already a role play. Because the thing is, we are who we are, but we are also, you know, based on the situation, either more or less in power, either more daring or less daring. And that has not much to do with being fast. It's more, you know, a situational thing. And
yeah.
So when you role play, you basically set up, you know, you don't even have to be fast. You just set up a scenario in which you can act out differently.
And I think, and that's the fun when it comes to role play, is you get to be like, you get to change your role in life, even if it's just for the moment, and just for the sexy times. But like it's one of those things that can be really, really fun to do, and just live out like that different fantasy. Like me, I'm actually pretty meek when it comes to my job, but like when it comes to, you know, some of the other stuff I do, like I'm a dom, and it's fun. It's fun, and I sometimes feel like it helps to bring out a more confident set of part of me to be able to do that, you know. While in my regular life, like I have to just kind of like, you know, I deal with customer service and stuff, so I just have to kind of like play into the whole like, yes, whatever you want, versus like when it's my personal life, like I get to have a sense of strength and a sense of control, and it's actually helped build me up a little more to be a little stronger. But
I also like about them that you have to kind of like, because you are in charge, you have to also be creative. So that is a part of them that I actually really enjoy. But it's like, if you think about it, you are the one in charge. You're the one, what you say kind of sort of, you are the leading person. What you say will be done. And so you better make sure that what you say is fun, because then you have more fun. And that is something that I really liked about it, because usually I was always like the tag along person. But every time I jump into that role, I actively have to do stuff myself, which makes it much more. Yeah. I think that's partially why I got into YouTube, by the way. Because I wanted to do stuff myself, and I always have the especially like in normal life, in normie life. I'm always like the person who just does what everyone else does, because whatever, it's easiest. But then when I want to do something myself, then I kind of have to like cut everything out, get out of normie life and kind of be myself there.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, that exactly. Like, and YouTube, like, it does provide, without it being, sexy. Although, I mean, honestly, you're sexy in and of itself, but
yeah,
you are though. Like, yeah. But with YouTube, like, you have to handle certain shit, and you have to be able to let your personality shine in a way, and you have to find a way to take some form of control.
Yeah.
And then in the bedroom, you can choose whether or not you're the one who's taking control.
Oh, that depends on the partner. Sometimes you have a partner that's so meek and boring and just lies there like a corpse, and it's like committing a crime.
Oh, gods. No, yeah, no. I couldn't. I can't. Like, that's one thing I always demand from a partner, is you put in at least some form of work. Like, if I'm on top, that's fine. Like, I'm putting in a lot of the work, but still put in some form of work. Like, don't just lay there like you're fucking like, a statue, or like, oh my God, like I'm paralyzed. No, I don't need you to be paralyzed. I need to know, like, you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
I found a very funny way around this, because I had, when I was younger, I had this partner who was just always laying there. He was enjoying it. Yeah, he had so much fun, but he was just laying there. And I thought, okay, I can't have this. This is so annoying. This is so boring. And so I started to just tape him up. I was like, okay, well, if you stand still anyway, I may as well put a bit of tape around it, so I have more fun, and then you don't move anyway. So there you go.
Yeah, I wish I could have done that. That would have spiced it up more. That's not a bad idea.
It's like, if he's already calm, if he's already not moving, at least, make it more sexy like that. It's like, well, he can't move, and therefore you have an excuse for him not to move.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Damn it,
Dude, I really like that. Oh my God.
Can I tell young me that before? Oh God.
Yes, go tell young you, Lo-Fi, to tape them up. I will also tell younger me to tape them up.
Remember that sketch you had that didn't move? Just tape her up. Okay. Then you don't have to pretend that and hope she's still alive.
Yeah. Well, they are still alive. You have to make sure that they're breathing, because you don't really want to kill them, But, just tape them up properly, like, I don't know, put something around their eyes, so you don't see whether or not they fall asleep. Put something around their wrists and their feet and whatever, and there you go.
I mean, maybe you want to kill them if they're really that boring and dissatisfying.
Aww.
But like, it's, I don't know. I like that idea though, like bind them. But one of my favorite things, like one of my biggest fantasies, is to pretty much just like cock tease a guy so hard that he tries to break through restraints just so he can fuck the ever loving shit out of me.
That sounds good.
It does sound fun.
I know, like, I love, like, that's one of my favorite things to do is to just tease a guy.
Oh, let's find a guy and do it.
Yeah, but teasing is a lot of fun. I absolutely agree. That's one of the funnest. It's nearly as fun as having sex itself. Sometimes even more.
Sometimes not for the person who can tease for months on end. How's the tumor, Antoine?
What?
So Antoine had made a terrible joke. Lo-Fi, do you wanna explain this one for
On
Ethan?
behalf of the teasing and it being more fun to tease than to have sex with, and there's a victim we have teased for months in chat because he made a joke to me one time where he said he had a tumor, and it turned out he was joking about his dick, but there was no hint of that, so we teased him about tumor ever since, and it's fun for everyone except for him, and we're still doing it. It's been over a month now.
So now we just call his dick a tumor.
Yeah, so tumor is fun. Teasing is more fun.
It can be, yeah. Like, especially if he's bad in bed, like just teasing him works so well.
And just leaving the room.
It's like a power trip, you know? It's almost like a power trip, and I think that's where the whole point of teasing comes in.
You know, I think that's kind of like half the fun too, the power dynamics. Because when you have a proper power dynamic play, then having sex is more fun just by default. You know, if you have the guy who gets teased so much that he can't quite, suppress his inner beast, I would say, then you basically took away his control of him. And that's
yes.
It's fun. It's fun. It's like you're the one who just teased the beast out of him. You know, I don't know.
That's awesome.
No, that's exactly what it is, though. Is you make him lose control, and I love seeing a guy who's just so frustrated because I won't let him move, and I won't let him do anything, and I won't let him touch, and like it's just no, I'm gonna be the dom, therefore I get to control whether or not you touch me. I get to, and he just gets so frustrated because like I'll just little things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just watch as he slowly breaks, and you get to slowly destroy his sense of control because he just loses it, and then he goes feral on you and just takes you like, sorry.
I think every Wednesday, every time you talk, every Wednesday you turn me on more and more. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's terrible.
I can't help. We're always talking about sex every Wednesday.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's the thing. So it's hard not to. Hard.
Stop.
but that's why I like the idea of roleplay as well, is because like you get to, you still have that sense of control, and if you can get the other person to break their character by doing like these sexy things as your character, oh my god, it's even better.
Gee, I just want to roleplay now. Right now. I'm gonna leave the stream just to roleplay.
All right, Lo-Fi, you can roleplay as me. Roleplay as me right now.
I can't mimic your voice enough, so I won't be satisfied with my own. My accent is too heavy to mimic your voice, so nope. I would wish I could, but I can't. I can't mimic that accent.
Ooh, video games. Any video game characters that you would want to roleplay as? Lo-Fi, I already know you did the Mario, Pikachu, Link, Sonic.
I did Scorpion for Mortal Kombat as well. Sexy Scorpion.
Get over here.
Yes, it worked.
What about you, Seth?
Well, there are a lot of computer game characters that I kind of would lay. Like if someone would roleplay as Zelda, I would tie him to my couch.
Christ, yes.
If someone would roleplay as there are a lot. Gosh, do I really have to pick? Can't I just have them all? I don't know.
Yes. All of them.
Gee. Let me think.
No worries.
Like The guy in Bloodborne, right? Has anyone of you played Bloodborne?
Yes.
The guy in Bloodborne, when he has like this outfit, this quaint English older style outfit, with his giant axe, I would totally get laid by that guy. I would like that, and I would tie him to my couch too, or like the same with the doll. Like imagine that doll actually playing as that. That is such an awesome doll.
Fuck, that's a great idea. Oh god, yes, she's hot.
And that's just like the last stuff that I was that I was actually
and she's a doll.
Playing.
So,
God,
that's brilliant. I want to fuck Yoshi because Yoshi has a long tongue.
Tongue. Yoshi. Oh my god, that'd be so twisted. I don't know. I want to. Every time I hear your voice, Seth, I can't help but think of a character from Dragon Age.
Which one?
Josephine from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, that's...
Oh yeah. The French one.
Yes, I would have her. I don't know. I would imagine you being Josephine, and then I'm trying to think on which of the other Dragon Age characters that I would have play for your partner. Because like me, I have this like massive love for
Iron Bull.
Oh my god, yes. Iron Bull is so amazing. I like Cullen.
Most guys would want their partner to roleplay as Kirby, because that little guy can suck.
God damn.
There's nothing he can swallow and won't swallow. Jesus Christ. Nintendo makes all the hottest characters in Theory.
I don't know. I want to see some Final Fantasy characters.
Oh yeah, Cloud. Cloud is already pretty good.
But the other guy, not Cloud, but the guy with the red bandana. How is he called?
Oh, Vincent.
I am so into that Vincent guy.
Dude, yes. Oh, he's so gorgeous.
What's the black guy called with the bird in the hair?
Oh
no, the black guy with the machine gun arm, because you know he can just mount other things on that arm, and it rotates.
I'm very practical.
Dude, it'd be Barrett, I believe his name is, and then he can attach paddles to it and turn it on for you.
Fucking perfect.
Spank. Like.
Okay, next time I go to a convention, I need a Kirby, a Yoshi, and a Barrett with a replaceable paddle arm.
Just stick the paddle handles into the barrels.
Oh my god. It has 6. Oh, it could be a 6-pronged dildo, vibrating super. Oh, that's a dildo. Oh my god. I'm so excited.
I once saw have you guys played The Witcher?
Yeah.
I once saw a drop cosplay that just made me super moist.
From The Witcher?
Yeah, and I was so excited because the guy had cosplayed as girl, and it was sorry.
There are some people out there who are seriously good at making costumes and at role playing them.
Impressive. Everything I do is homemade, but I don't have the time. I wish I could put that much effort into my cosplay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but it'd be I wish I had the money. Just the money to be able to like make certain cosplays. And you can guarantee that like some of my cosplays would then turn around and be used for bedroom time, because just wearing it for a convention isn't enough, you know? Like, why would I put all this time and effort into something that I'm just going to wear for like a convention when I can then use it for outside of the convention?
I agree. You have to use it for other things as well. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. I made a Zoidberg once. I have not slept with anyone with that yet. But yeah, I made amazing Zoidberg, but I used it almost every day. I took it to university and wore it for lectures. You have to use it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait. I'm gonna find my Zoidberg costume pictures now.
Honestly, one of my like dream cosplays that I wanted to do, and for role play purposes, was I either want to do a Loki or a Thor, and then have my partner be the opposing, and then it'd be weird, brothers not brothers doing things to each
Oh
other.
my god. Can we do that though?
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
I'll
Loki
be
and Thor.
Thor. I'm already Scandinavian and way taller than you.
And you have dark hair already too, so there you go.
I have blonde hair and I work out by chopping down trees. It's perfect.
Yeah, and those two, you know, if you get the dynamic right, that's actually a very, very fun roleplay dynamic in general.
Oh yes. Because then it's just like that the Loki has to try and dominate the Thor, but the Thor always wins.
Yeah, because he's more, yeah. No, it's very and so basically Loki's thing is to try to trick Thor so that he can dominate, but then because Thor is Thor, he just ends up always on the bottom anyway.
Yes.
Fuck, that's perfect.
Okay, I'll be Loki. Like, I'll hold the Thor down and be like, all right, I'm gonna do things to you, and then whoever's gonna be my Thor will be like, aha, no you're not, brother. Oh, what other good ones would there be? I like the idea of Captain America, but I'm trying to think of who with
I don't know,
Captain
Captain America, I personally think they didn't quite develop the character that well. You know, he's a bit too neutral as a character. Like, I could see, you know, people do something with, I don't know, let me pick. You know, you can have a dynamic with the new Spider-Man, you know, because like he's a little kiddo and, you know, he's just trying to do and stuff. And you can have a dynamic with, you know, even someone like Iron Man, because he's, you know, the stubborn, you know, egocentrical managerial type person. But Captain America is just not really that developed as a character. He's not very that easy to handle, I think.
He's a good boy. He's too much of a good boy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think having a Captain America and Iron Man like role play dynamic.
Oh, a Winter Soldier, Iron Man.
Yeah, and you can make it you know, the whole Civil War right there
In the bedroom. Oh my god!
Yes.
You both get to fight over the same guy, and then in the end they double team you.
Yeah.
But you still win and fuck both of them. Oh my god! Potential for some serious role playing.
It would be the best. And then Black Widow is a hard one for me to figure out too.
Besides her ass, I don't like her.
No? Why not?
Because I don't like the actor. I like her in the comics, she's fine. She's not... I like big guys with muscles.
Ooh, you know who would be a really good one to try and roleplay as?
Ooh.
Hela.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh yeah, Hela would be awesome.
Especially like you can wear an all latex outfit. Oof. And then you're trying to take over. You can try and take over their Asgard.
Oh my god! And you throw dildos.
Some vendors.
You're pegging them to the spot.
Oh, what? Oh, God. So there was another one that I was trying to think of. Because, like, I feel like both Superman and Captain America have, like, the similar problem where they're both too much of the good boys. You know?
More than being good boys, it's like they're good boys in a neutral way. It's not like, because, for example, you can be the good boy, but then slightly too naive. And then, you can work with the naivety, right? But when you're a good boy, but then you kind of still know something about life, but you're not really jaded because you're still the good boy, it's too neutral. You can do a lot of things with a lot of good guy people if they have something, you need a little tick or something to work with. Even if you're a good guy. Like imagine someone like Captain America. He is a good guy, yeah? But he's also a bit on the nice side, which means people can easily, tease him and get their way. Like the reason, for example, Thor and Loki work so well is because Thor, concerning Loki, is a bit naive. He can get tricked by Loki because he doesn't expect Loki to go in certain areas because he himself wouldn't do it, and that's why it's so easy to work on Thor. Right. But then Thor, for example, has also this thing of like, he's like the powerful person. So he wants to show his dominance. So there are certain traits that he has that you can still work with. But if a character is too neutral, then there is no way you can actually work with it.
Yeah, no, that's a very fair point. Okay, what about Thanos? What do you think of? Wait, have you seen the new Infinity War movie?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I was dragged into it by logic. We were out and the movie was playing and he was like, we go watch this now. We go watch this now. I have to watch it. We go watch this now. I don't want it to get spoiled by YouTube. We have to watch it now. I'm like, okay. I wanted to buy a cupcake, man. I had to wait 3 hours to get my cupcake.
Did he buy you a cupcake afterwards for having dragged you into the movie?
He did. At least he did buy the cupcake. He was about to forget it, but he did.
That's a good boy.
Yeah.
Logic is a good boy. Oh, there we go. Everybody, there's a new hashtag. Logic is a good boy.
Add me in it when you tag it. I totally want to see them all.
How would you roleplay Thanos in a sexual way?
Oh, that's a good question. That's what I'm trying to think of. Like he's trying to well, he's going down to try and get your Infinity Stone.
It sounds no. He'll only get you halfway there.
And who would you have like be your opposite to the Thanos? Like that's the other question is you can have a Thanos, but then who would you choose? Like, would you have it be Vision, and then he just kind of holds you down and does stuff with your head, or like that's a tough one. That's a really tough one to think of.
Yeah, and also like the thing with Thanos is he is this kind of he's the villain. He's like super crazy and super the villain, but he's so mellow about it. He never really freaks out or anything. No, he's extremely mellow about it, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, he thinks he's in the right all the time, so he has no reason not to be mellow. So he's
doing the thing where he's he wants to take out half the world because he thinks that that's what's better.
You could put Thanos with a different plot line. You could say, okay, now that I have gotten rid of half of the Earth, I realize there are not enough people, so I have to populate them. But I have to populate them with smart people, so I have to populate the world. You could make a game on of that.
Oh my god!
So that would be a direction you could go.
That'd be a really exhausting. That'd be a really exhausting time though, because then it's just like you'd have to have either you or your partner, whoever's not playing Thanos, they would have to switch roles like every once in a while.
Yeah.
But he has the Infinity Gauntlet, he has the Reality Stone and such, and the Time Stone. He can make it done deadly easily. He can do everyone at once in a different reality. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah, but like if you're doing the role play, where say like your partner is Thanos, and then he has to like, I don't know, he has to fuck you as Shuri because Shuri's one of the smart people, and then once he's finished with Shuri, then he has to go after Tony because Tony's another one of the smart people, and then once he's finished with Tony, then he has to, and you have to keep changing your outfits, but it'd be a really fun, super long session. Incredibly long session. I'm already tired thinking of it. Shit.
Yeah, or you have to go back in time, be like, yeah, that was kind of fun. I don't know if it was successful. Let me just go back in time. Let me try it again.
Use that time stone. Rewind.
Yeah.
Thanos, I've come to fuck. And rewind time every time he fucks you.
And then, okay, let's see. Sexiest people in obviously the sexiest like role play idea would be Thor and Loki out of Marvel.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Who would be the sexiest to roleplay in the DCU? Like out of like
cinematic universe, or could we get, because if we have to take the new cinematic universe, I wouldn't roleplay any of them because I'll get depressed on how bad the movies are and then I'll go kill myself.
What if we just did like at least the Jason Momoa Aquaman, because he's pretty.
Yeah, he is pretty. I would lick on him.
I have to admit I did not watch the DC movies.
You don't have to. Don't do it. It's don't ever.
I heard they're not that good.
They're worse than that.
And like the thing is, I heard that they're super good, but from the wrong people. And when you hear it from certain people, I usually get like, you know, the skin being like, you know, crawly and stuff. It's like when a mass murderer tells you have to visit a certain hotel, you just kind of avoid that hotel. It's kind of like that, you know. When certain people tell you a movie is good, you kind of, you know, avoid that movie like the plague.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely yeah, you're not missing anything. So just DC characters then. We'll just try and think of DC characters. Because it's not like they have unless they do they have Hawkgirl introduced anywhere in the DCU?
In the movies? No,
I
in
didn't
the
think so.
animated movies, yes. In the DC cinematic universe, the new one, no.
Iseth, have you seen any of the DC animated movies?
No, I haven't
They're
seen
really
anything. DC related, I'm afraid.
They're better than the live action. Of course, there's still some flaws because there's always going to be flaws because, you know, you can't fit as much in a comic arc. And on top of that, like some of the storylines in certain comic arcs can be
That's okay. I don't want to
translate.
Let's talk about something slightly sexier than comics.
Fair enough. I don't know. I think role playing as comic book characters can be fun.
Yeah,
I know one of the big ones that people like to do is like Harley Quinn.
No, that's boring. It's been done. I want the Scarecrow because that would be horrifyingly sexy. I would like that. That's terrible.
You know, what would be villains that you would like? What would be villains that you would like to roleplay as?
Poison Ivy.
What? I already chose Loki, but I'll think of another villain. What about you?
Loki is not. I wouldn't call him a villain anymore.
He's not really, like, the thing is, he never really was quite the villain. You know, he's always this chaotic, neutral person. He kind of wants always to do his own stuff. And he kind of messes this up. But in general, it's not like he's quite the villain yet. And he's also not quite the good guy. You never really know where you're at with him. You can't quite trust him. And like, the thing is, that reminds me of this other guy, this Deadpool guy. He's also not really a hero, which makes him more of a hero to me than other people, because it's more fun to watch a hero that's not really a hero. And that's why when talking about roleplay, I kind of like those kind of characters more. I like more like a Loki than I like, for example, a Captain America. I like more Iron Man instead of, I don't know, even... Like, I mean, Thor looks better, obviously. So if you would take like the Thor person and shove it into an Iron Man outfit with the Iron Man character, there you go, you know. But just from the dynamics, I kind of like, you know, this kind of people more.
The sassy people.
Because
they have a little more character development. They're not one note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more to work with. It's just more to work with. Generally, just more fun.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about Logic and Izet, you know, like talking on a character level, because those are characters, you know, those are not real life people. You put up a mask and you're a different personality. And so when you look at my very, very old videos, I was very different. I was just straight up speaking into a mic, and it was super bland. And so when I moved to Logic and saw how, you know, basically putting up a mask was so much more fun and also easier to record, to be fair, then I just got a very, very different view of it, because now suddenly your persona is no longer connected to you, and you can go so much further. You know, like, for example, this whole thingy where, you know, Iset made a contract with the devil, basically, with Logic. You know, she goes to hell when she dies just to stay away from God because she's pissed as fuck about God. Like, those are all little things that you can put into play. And Iset is not a good character. Logic is not a good character. None of them are good characters. And it makes it so much easier to use them in a roleplay.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, no.
It's gonna be tough to roleplay the goody two shoe, always correct, neutral boy, unless only one person in the roleplay does it. Then the other one can be the fucking...
Yeah, but basically the other one is always the one who gets the entertainment into the whole play.
Yes,
it's like when you're the goody person, you basically just absorb everything that people, you know, throw at you, in a sense.
We have a donation from Stoned Monkey Production for $4.20. $4.20. Only the ladies on. Fuck yes, loving it. Thank you. That's very nice. And there's the moan. Perfect.
We moan for our super chats because it's only polite, right?
Yeah, it's only polite.
Moan for your money.
Every time I receive my paycheck, I moan as well, because I have to celebrate.
But I'm trying to think of good villains that I would, and I'm talking about like actual villains, like the bad guys.
If you like men in uniform, you can take Red Skull. It takes a very certain type of roleplay to get into his kind.
You know, isn't it kind of sad that there are so many villains, but none of them really have much character development? Like, yes. I think Thanos is one of the few that actually, it's basically a film about him, if you're honest. Like, most of it's mostly just Thanos and everyone else around him. And so he has this whole character development. You know where it comes from. You know what he wants. You know why he wants it. And most of the villains are just, you know, they pop up. They're just villains. And there you go.
That's been an issue ever since they started. It's the throwaway villains to lead up to the big thing. It's just, look at this. Oh, it's the big baddie of the week. It's defeated. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
I know it's been done a lot, but I would do like a female Joker, and not Martha Wayne female Joker, just to go kind of fucking crazy, with it, and like I'll leave little surprises for my partner, and then they have to figure out like, is this gonna be a fun surprise?
Did she poop in her bag again? Disgusting.
What?
That's an unfunny surprise.
Yes, it is. That's so disturbing. But I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to try and role play as a Joker, and to leave my partner guessing, what am I going to do to him? Ooh, Jigsaw. Jigsaw would be a good one too. Is it gonna hurt, or is it gonna be kinky?
We have to role play as a midget on a tricycle.
No. I could too, because I'm so short. Well, what about you? What bad guys would you try and roleplay as, Isa?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's tough.
It is really tough.
I want to roleplay as Dexter, the Red Lantern cat, because
yes, no, that's so.
Then once a month, it makes sense to throw blood out of your pussy.
Oh God. That'd be terrible and amazing. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Red Lantern. Red Lantern is Dexter.
Red Lantern.
Red Lantern. Yes. I swear I can English. Who do you think would be the worst YouTubers to roleplay as?
Can I point out something?
Yeah?
I was just thinking about it, but how would something like Agent Smith fit in a roleplay? Like that's very old school, but I'm like, there must be something that fits to that guy.
That's actually a really good question. I don't know. Like, and would you have your partner be like Neo?
And Dutch every attempt at it.
I don't know. I was just thinking, like, when we talk about like villains, that's one of the guys who pops in my head very frequently. Because he had like this huge development. First he was just like one of the many control mechanisms, and then he got kind of turned into his own virus kind of. So you can do something with him. I'm just not quite sure what.
Either way, it'd be really kinky, especially. It'd be. I don't know. That's a really good question, because like he started, as you said, he started off, very.
He was just
mindless.
one of the many, and then just he turned it around, and he just basically took everything over like a virus.
Yeah.
Oh my! And it would get really hot when you have the gangbang of all the Smiths.
I don't know. That's a really good. And then of course, you'd have to have the Mr. Smith be like, "Hello again, Mr. Anderson."
Yeah.
Oh, Viggo Mortensen, man. Oh,
Viggo
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah,
whatever.
Weaving.
They're all Lord of the Rings characters. Ooh, Lord of the Rings characters. That's another one. Another one I wanted. Who would be a good Lord of the Rings character for like Frodo and Legolas? Can you imagine? No, because I read a fan fiction before that was about Frodo's ass was glowing because Legolas, I guess, had used the light of Arendelle as lube before fucking Frodo in the ass.
Also, when he goes into the Spider King, he has to spread his butt to scare away the spider. You'd work as a spotlight.
Oh my god! Oh,
I'm gonna say Gimli because he's a dwarf and they know how to dig a tunnel. Like they live in there. They're fucking born for it. They're ready.
I think we can all agree none of us would probably play as Arwen.
That's boring.
Yeah.
Gandalf has a huge staff.
And then Frodo has Sting. It's small, but it gets the job done.
You could just take the classic Samwise and Frodo, because they're already gay enough as it is. You barely need to change anything.
Yeah.
Oh, Ishtar has a good question. The do's and don'ts of role-playing. Do get into your character. But don't get too heavily into your character.
Don't
Like
laugh
that you
every
forget-
3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get out of the character. Getting into the character in of itself is not too much of a problem. But when you're embarrassed about it or something, or not, when you're laughing about it, you just take the whole thing away. It takes a bit of immersion thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You have to hit the sweet point between being serious and having fun. So don't go insane with the seriousness, because then you're just acting a character.
Stone Monkey Productions for 420. My World of Warcraft tune is named Arwen. LOL.
Thanks for the donation.
World
Moan,
of
Loki.
Warcraft must be. How old is that game?
World of Warcraft
Oh.
I remember having played the beta, and I was rather young back then. And that thing must be old. That thing must be so old.
Yeah, no, it is. It's because I remember playing a free version of it on my iMac desktop laptop in the early 90s, mid to early 90s, and it was World of Warcraft 3, the Orcs one.
Wait, what? When was that?
That was 90s for me.
Well, that's not World. That's just Warcraft.
That's not Warcraft. That's World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
That's just Warcraft?
No, Warcraft is different.
Yeah, Warcraft is a strategy game before World of Warcraft.
Okay. All right, so I played the Warcraft then. I never played the World of Warcraft.
The World of Warcraft is basically where you have one character or several, and then you basically are in an open world and whatever, have to do stuff.
Yeah.
I've never played actual World of Warcraft.
Our sex chat turned into World of Warcraft.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, we need to stop. We need to talk about sex. So let's see. What's her face? The Banshee. I would totally role play as her. Fuck yeah! And then when I'm coming, I screech at the top of my lungs.
It sounds good. Sylvanas Windrunner. You can just screech them right in the face.
Yes. But no, who would be the worst YouTubers to roleplay as?
The worst YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you pick if your partner wants to roleplay and you just okay, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna fucking ruin the mood? Which YouTuber would you pick?
But it depends on your partner. It really depends on your partner. Because if your partner is this crazy person who manages to get every situation working, then you're so screwed no matter who you pick.
Yeah, then he can go, oh my god, I'm fucking mundane mad, and you're like, oh no, oh fuck, it didn't work.
Think about it. If you pick someone who's super boring, and then he picks someone who really counters that, then even if you pick someone who's super boring, he can pull it off.
What if you pick somebody who's really questionable? Like
Amos Yee?
Destiny.
Oh god. That would ruin my mood. I would break up.
Well, because I know Destiny's the whole rumor about Destiny is the pedophilia thing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I don't think I heard about whole Destiny thing. I don't know really who that is. Let's start with that.
No worries. We'll avoid that because that's not sexy. All right, sexiest YouTubers then. Sexiest YouTubers you could possibly roleplay as. Just whether it be visually or just you love their content that much.
I'm on the stream with two pretty people now.
Okay. I have to say, because
aside from Logic, because that doesn't count for you.
Yeah, I know that doesn't count. No, Blair White is very fuckable.
Yes.
It's very fuckable.
I just wanted to shut up. While then but if she would just shut her mouth. Blah 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 blah. Fucking shut up.
If I could pull off the accent, I would totally roleplay as either of you two. But I would want my partner to roleplay as AP the Frog.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt in my head that'd be like sexy. Or Antoine. I actually really like Antoine's voice. I think he's fun.
I want to fuck Cell.
Well, you just think he's pretty though. Like, you've seen his face, so you know he's pretty.
Yeah.
He's a pretty boy.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funny to have just a pretend I'm armored skeptic just so I can wear the armor.
Oh, that must be uncomfortable though.
Well, they have like knit hoodies.
That's not as fun. You have to wear full battle plate.
Yeah.
To bed. That would be way more fun. And have a tiny crane to lift you into bed, like getting lifted on the horse. It's fucking amazing.
No, and it's just the top part of me that's covered, or just my head. Just my head. I just have the helmet on because that's all you need is the helmet.
Oh, then it just looks like awesome. Oh, and the gloves. Those are the two things you see. Armored gloves and head.
I would take the shoulders too, though.
I think you should dress in full battle plate.
Like, because the shoulders is what gives it, what gives off the head a bit. Because otherwise you have like this oversized head, and everything else is kind of small.
Yeah, that's a good point. So can that full armor, so you can clonk, and it's very sexy.
All right, fine, full armor, but the breastplate can come off easily, and then it'd just be like a removable crotch gate or something.
You don't need the ring mail underneath. You just need the plate armor. So it's just 2 straps on the shoulders and 2 free on each side, and that's it. Then it falls off.
And especially if it's a bit loose, that you can like crawl underneath with your hands and stuff.
Yes.
That'd be so complicated. But it'd also be really fun. Armored sex sounds like Fire Emblem cosplay. Huh.
Like, if anyone would know it, definitely Akio with all the weird ass shit he watches.
I don't know. I still, again, like, my dream role play / cosplay is always gonna be the Thor and Loki. Just because, yes.
You really sold me on that idea. There's so many fun things. Like, you can do the story about that Thor tells about the snake, where you dress up as a snake and transforms, and then instead of stabbing in the chest with a knife, you stab in the pussy with a dildo, and it's perfect. Then I throw you. I'm just protecting myself into everything.
I would want to play like a naughty Muslim woman, and then have the guy be like, "I'm about to bomb that pussy." Holy shit, that'd be terrible and amazing and terrible and amazing.
Yes. Okay.
Speaking of Thor overpowering and all sorts of NPC. Oh, God damn it, Trippy Food.
Allahu Puspa. Allahu.
Allah o Pusbar instead of Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu
Yeah.
Puspa. Okay, well,
That'd-
there's so much dead air on here now. I'm gonna end the stream.
Yeah, no, that works because we can only talk about, and I have so many ideas running through my head right now.
It's just, yeah. Okay, so thanks everyone for joining. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining, Iseth.
Thanks a lot for inviting me.
It was
Make
fun.
sure to follow Isethoriginal
On Twitter
on,
and on YouTube and everywhere.
yes.
Fun.
Yeah, you want to